and we are back. This is it. We've more or less finally caught up. Um, these last four missions are going to be the end of Endwalker, and we will be starting Dawntrail. Recording wise, I'll probably do this tomorrow, but next week we start Dawntrail. Let's get started. With that, our obligations here are concluded. Oh, Nutana. What news from Thavnir? They've returned? Then. Wonderful. Rest assured all is well with us too. Is that so? We would be honored, of course. I shall relay this to the others. A great feast will be held in Razathan to celebrate Ajdaya's homecoming. We've all been invited. I'm afraid my sister and I must decline. We have only just returned home. To leave again so soon would be inconsiderate to our parents. Understandable. With regret, I too must excuse myself from attendance. A prior commitment requireth that I remain in Charlian for a time. Let not our absence deter you, however. Pray, enjoy yourselves to the fullest. I have no plans in particular, so you can count me in. I may as well visit the Radiant Host while I'm there. How about you, Sapphire? Well, of course I'm going. Wait, what delivery? What delivery? Oh. I do need to do this. Ah, of course. The Memoria Crystal. So it'd be remiss of us not to deliver it promptly to our friends. I forgot about that. Also, if they were to transfer light and dark between worlds, they will need command over the Crystal Tower. In which case, I shall give you my spirit vessel to take again. When you arrive in the Crystarium, the sentry at the tower should be able to round up everyone for you. Once you've seen to matters there, come join us at Megaduda. Give everyone our regards, you hear? Yeah, this is definitely the wrap-up mission of Endwalker. This technically would have been the last mission of the last video, but the last video ran really long. I think even after editing it down, it ran really long, so I was just like, yeah, I'll put this into the last video. So it's a nice wrap-up epilogue moment, which actually is very fitting. Oh, I need to do that on this character. Captain Lena and Backlog at once. Yeah, I forgot. I have an alt character that's boosted that's on a pretty Somewhat empty server.
Ah, yes. The king has already shared what they glimpsed in the source. The day is won, and the danger past. Hearing the tidings lifted a great weight from my shoulders. Never before had I taken on such a monumental request.
Small though it was, we are glad to have played a role in saving the Exarch's home. And yours. Furthermore, the endeavor served to reaffirm the bond between the peoples of Norvrant. Nurturing this bond, we will strive to be an example for the world Zero aspires to restore.
Is that a Memoria crystal? I can feel it. The tremendous darkness within. Using darkness from the void to restore balance to this world. If such a thing could be done! Well, well. Though night has returned to our world, darkness cannot arise of its own accord, much less in abundance. But if it could be brought here, in like manner to how we channeled light to the void, it may well be possible to restore the empty in its entirety. Do you still have that spirit vessel with you? If so, I beg you loan it to me for a time. I would use it to investigate a way to have the tower receive rather than send energy. Thank you. While I make no promises at this stage, I shall rigorously explore the possibility. I too need to explore new possibilities for my powers. My recent experience at Nabatha Reng has taught me that. To that end, I will set aside botany for a time, and focus instead on myself. Knowing Zero is out there, doing her utmost to restore her own world, it inspires me to redouble my efforts.
It was a mighty struggle, but I had faith that you would be victorious in the end. And I doubt not that the people of Nortvant will cheer when they learn that the Warrior of Darkness managed to save his home. I know you're a busy man, so don't let us keep you. Rest assured that we will continue the work we've begun. Alright, how close does that put us to... This is next. Alright. I still need to finish up. Wait, how much? Not what I'm looking for. How much do I have left? Oh, I can buy at least one. How many pieces do I already have, though? None. Aw. some fate tokens. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff I gotta sell. Alright. Oh god, it's the drunk. And the kid. With his sister.
It cannot be. Oh, Vashan, my darling little brother. To think that I will never see you again.
The way you carry on, anyone would think he was actually your brother. Save your tears now. His Excellency still has one of his eyes. And he has made it clear he intends to continue using his vessel. You'll see Varshan again. Never fear.
Truly. But will it be the little one?
Personally, I prefer the adult vessel. It cuts a gallant figure and has superior functionality besides.
Ah, I don't care about such things. My little brother is little and adorable.
Oh my god, I love him.
Sisters, give me strength.
'Tis a fine thing being so loved.
Had enough of the revelry, have you? So, what's next for our hero?
I do love this look on Estinian. I need to come up with a different look for my
No
character.
need to decide just yet.
Something...
You'll recall our escapades in the Void began with a treasure map I paid entirely too much gil for.
something similar.
You can't force an adventure. It'll happen when it happens. And you'll know when the time is right. Till then, it's good to lend an ear to others and their tales. And speaking of others,
Discussing each other's plans, are we? Alas, I have nothing exciting to share. I foresee an extended confinement in my Sharlayan chambers, compiling my theories on cross-rift travel. My research may be classified, prohibited by the powers that be. But so long as a bond exists between people, ever shall our worlds be connected. As it stands, a means to travel to the first is within reach, and I would be satisfied even should my research not exist in an official capacity. And what of you, Estinian? Have you any plans?
Where in the world did he go?
He never was one to stay put for long, though I've no doubt he will make himself known when needed.
"'Twas a lively feast, was it not? And it impressed upon me once again how dear Vitra is to his people. Well, as much as I should like to linger, 'tis past time I took my leave. If you mean to depart as well, I suggest you can call on Vitra before settling out. Or I suggest you call on Vitra before settings. Ah. Ooh. Alright, take two. Let's try that again. If you mean to depart as well, I suggest you call on Vitra before setting out. And before I forget, thank you for everything we learned and for everything we accomplished. I couldn't be more grateful. Till next time, take care." And once again, the Scions are on their own. I mean, I love the fact I can see my swords, but... was it character configuration? I don't remember. Screw it. I'll do it for Dawntrail. And I think I'm gonna play Dawntrail all the way through at 100. Or all the way as Viper. I can't believe it's only midnight and I'm like, I can't talk. That's for Sean. Sapphire, I hope you enjoyed the festivities. To be able to celebrate Ashdia's return with everyone was moving beyond words. Lest you wonder, I've chosen to use this vessel for now, the better to escort my sister around Razadhan. This leaves my true form without an eye, but I did not anticipate having need of it in the immediate future. Long have I dreamed of showing Ashdia, my beautiful city, a glittering jewel born of unity. I shall relish every moment of it. Now then, I believe both Ishtal and Estinian have embarked on their respective journeys, but have you yourself business elsewhere? If not, you are welcome to remain here as long as you like. Should aught of import arise, we will inform you, but until such day arrives, I bid you take your ease. And that would have been the end of... Yeah, that would have been the end of 6.5. By the way, what was... okay,
Everything appears to be in order.
Crow was looking at something earlier, but what was it?
Oh, finished at last. So time-consuming. How nice would it be to have a mammoth to handle such tasks? Now then, let's have a look at you.
Well, I guess this answers my question.
Quite old, this letter. We'll need to store it carefully. Addressed to Grandfather, and come all the way from Tuliolal, from a Gulu someone. Oh, the ink's too faded. Hardly anything is legible. Come on, give me something. A commission to investigate the Golden City in Tural. How odd. No one ever mentioned such a commission, nor have I seen any records.
Okay, and this is what plants the seed into Dawntrail. Got it.
Something else in here. What an unusual earring. How does it relate to the petition, I wonder? Oh, did you go there, Grandfather? To the Golden City in Tural?
Earingville.
Back again already, after making a show of leaving. Well, this is it, Charlene. Quite a far cry from Tuliolal, yes? Come, let's go and find your candidate, our adventurer friend.
Okay, maybe it was good I started the video with this. Sapphire, one of my clerks was just here with a message for you. The students of Bodessian request your presence in Charlian at your earliest convenience. Indebted as I am to our friends, I had hoped that I too might be of service, but it is you alone that they require. If you know pressing business, pray make your way to the Valdesian Annex at once. Ojika awaits your arrival. In the meantime, I shall continue showing Ashdaya the city. From notable landmarks to the people's lives, there is so much and more for her to see. Farewell for now, my friend. I look forward to the day we set forth on another adventure together. Alright, back to good old Charlian. I was gonna hit return and then realized that's not where I need to go. A warm and hearty welcome to you, Sapphire. I gather you received our message. Please wait here while I fetch Kral and Graha. Oh, I miss my cat boyfriend. Thank you for coming on such notice, and forgive us for sending you sending for you so soon after your trials in the void. Now then, we aren't actually the ones who require your presence, but Aaronville. He stopped by recently, you see, and asked us to reach out to you on his behalf. I imagine you're as surprised as we are, given that he was supposed to be away on a long expedition. Something must have necessitated a change in his plans. All he would tell me is that there is someone whom he wishes Sapphire to meet. He also mentioned that he would be tending to business in the studio. Shall we look for him there? Bye. He's near the stadium, he's just not at the stadium. For the most part. Now, then, where's Aaronville?
Aaronville!
Apologies for the wait. I hope I haven't called you away from anything important. I chanced upon some commissioned items at my destination, so I thought I might deliver them.
Where did you go, if I may ask?
The New World. Tural.
You went to Tural? Then the person who you wish to introduce...
Aye, she hails from there. I present to you...
But it seems you've lost her.
Did she wander off?
Sorry. It's just so different here. I can't help but want to explore.
Well, while you were exploring, your candidate came to us. This is him. The adventurer you crossed the seas to meet.
Ooh, you weren't exaggerating. It's plain he's no ordinary man. I'm Uklamat, claimant to the throne of Tuliyola.
Tuliyola.
It's Tural's governing nation. The capital bears the same name.
I'll get to the point. I want you to come with me to my homeland.
Given the magnitude of the request, perhaps you should explain why you're making it?
Like, I feel like this is almost like we are getting married.
Of course.
You are my chosen husband.
Soon, an event of great import will be held in Tural. The Rite of Succession. Taking the form of a contest, it will determine who next ascends the throne. As daughter to its present keeper, I will participate. And I have every intention of winning. I was searching for champions to join me when Aaronville told me about you. A mighty warrior who knows no fear, who sweeps aside terrible fiends as if they were reeds, who flew to the edge of existence and saved our star.
Something.
She asked who Eorzea's greatest hero was, and so I told her. Much more elegantly, I might add.
Now you know why. You'll come to Tural, yes?
She's so direct to the point.
Let's all just slow down. Wuklemat, was it? You claim to be of the royal family, but is it not the Mamulja who rule in Tural?
Tulihyolal is a nation of many peoples. Not only the Mamulsha, as some across the seas are quick to assume. That said, its present ruler is a Mamulsha, and one blessed with two heads besides. He's also my father. Not by blood, obviously, but he raised me as his own, and that's what matters.
So how many...
that is the way of it. My apologies if I was indelicate.
So how many siblings are we looking at, then?
Hardly. I know little about your land, and nothing about your parentage. But in my eagerness, I've gotten ahead of myself. I can't expect you to agree on the spot when we've only just met. If you have any questions, I'll do my best to answer them. Just know, though, that if it's adventure you seek, you could do far worse than come with me. Now, this is only a rumor. But apparently, the contest will involve the fabled city of gold and the legendary beast, Valyarmanda. Tell me that doesn't pique your interest.
Well, I know it's going to pique Kryle's interest. I have not heard of the City of Gold. There's just nothing more. See, but the problem is I can't really choose strictly a rumor or nothing more because we've gone off of rumors before. And hunches and just intuition, so...
We're going to get along, you and I. Tural has no shortage of unexplored frontiers and deadly fiends. You'll never want for excitement, I promise you.
I advise you not to put much store by these rumors. Golden cities are not but a dreamer's fancy.
Ah, so he's very practical.
Says the dreamer who was bent on finding one when he was a child.
Wait,
Just
how do
because
they...
you failed doesn't mean it doesn't exist.
How do they know each other?
Tuliolal and the Golden City. Just like in the letter to Grandfather.
There's something in that look between the two of them.
Regardless of what the contest may entail, it'll be no simple thing. If I'm to triumph, I'll need capable and dependable companions. So let's go on a hunt together. There's no better way to get acquainted.
This is going to be interesting, to say the least. The chance to see not only Tural, but the fabled Golden City besides. This is the stuff of grand adventures, my friend. Which is not to say you should hastily accept this invitation, mind. There's still a great deal we don't know. So let us begin to rectify that by first getting acquainted with our visitor in the manner she suggests. Where are we hunting now? I'm not certain what might be a suitable location for her hunt, however. When I was at the guild earlier, I heard about a petition for researchers on the Isle of Ham. You went there not long ago and culled some unruly fauna. Of course, but according to recent reports, other ordinarily docile fauna have grown savage. Uh-oh. It's believed that they are unsettled by some manner of predator, and so the researchers seek assistance with identifying and dispatching it. As part of your hunt, perhaps you might answer the petition. The isle isn't far, and we would also be helping those in need. That works for me. Just so you know, I've honed my skills against some of the fiercest beasts in Tudal. Whatever this creature is, it better be able to put up a proper fight, or it'll end before we had a chance to get acquainted. They're practically giving me sibling vibes. There's something about it. And before we can prove ourselves capable and dependable companions... My apologies, but I must see to some preparations. Pray, go on ahead to the Isle. I'll join you as soon as possible. If the rest of you are ready, let us head to the harbor. This being guild ship business, it should be simple enough to secure a vessel. Alright, I should probably hop out of the leathers and go with more cloth and look. Probably like this. I wish I could dye this outfit. Or am I doing that the hard way? So we have to take a ship, and I barely set foot on dry land. Oh well, I suppose it's for a good cause, a hunt. Come on, let's get going. Ah, it's a duty, okay.
From here, we must walk.
So much ice. It rivals even Yogg-Tural. Oh, a white bear! I wonder what it tastes like.
Remember, we're here to deal with creatures that have been deemed an unacceptable danger. Do not attack anything else unprovoked.
I know.
I'm calling it now, they're siblings. They have to be.
So this is the isle where ether literally bursts forth.
Or, oh wait a minute, if they're siblings,
Aye,
then...
the Isle of Ham. The geysers lie deep inland, however.
You really are knowledgeable. Kona told me nothing about this place.
I doubt your brother managed to come out this way. He's like to have toured facilities like Labyrinthos, however.
The great big cavern under the city. It's amazing that they could make a sky down there complete with a sun.
This brother of yours, he has been to Sharlayan.
He has. Kono's my second older brother, and until recently he was a student in the city. He went on and on about technological amusements. He made me want to come here too one day. And so I did. I think I understood something of how he felt when I set foot in his beloved studium.
I just realized the music changed.
He went to the studio. Your brother must be quite a scholar. But I wonder, like you, he'd be royalty, yes? With such a personage coming to Sharlayan to receive an education would surely have caused a stir, yet I recall nothing of the sort.
He consulted with the head of the studium beforehand, that his identity might remain secret. Being Mikote, he had no trouble blending in. He's adopted like me, you see. One time, though, he almost let it slip to a professor. It was all he could do to parry the barrage of questions.
Having no shortage of questions myself, I can imagine.
Ask whatever you like. I don't mind. But I maintain hunting together is the best way to get to know someone.
Just imagine if this was a dungeon.
The researchers should be up ahead. Let's find them and learn what we can.
Well, if this section was a dungeon. Although it is kind of cool that we're going back to an area that was a dungeon.
The researchers should be just ahead. There. The building to the northeast.
So, ordinarily harmless creatures have grown savage.
Don't know what's got them riled up, but I'll take down any that thinks to try me. Right, let's hunt our fill.
Look! Someone's in trouble!
Yeah! Taste my axe!
These animals are usually so docile.
Oh, thank goodness you've come. I take it you're the one who answered our petition? Wait, aren't you... You are Sapphire. The adventurer who saved our star. Would that our meeting was under better circumstances? I was conducting a routine inspection of the transporter here when I suddenly found myself surrounded. You'll understand... you'll find more of the same across the chasm. Once docile animals grown strangely aggressive, my colleagues can tell you more. If you'll give me just one moment, I can finish checking our equipment.
You really are famous.
And for good reason, as you'll soon see for yourself.
Quite an interesting contraption you've got here.
Is that our petitioner? Let's go and have a chat.
The adventurer come to answer my petition, I presume. We're most fortunate to have one of your capable skill here. Oh, one of your capable skill here to aid us. Inflection when reading that matters. A creature of unknown origin has been sighted on the island in recent days, and we believe its presence has affected local fauna. The animals beyond this gate are worse affected we've encountered thus far, though we dare not go back. Your task is to quell any threats you find and search for traces of the beast responsible for this. If you should find anything at all, we would be most grateful if you would share it with us.
I'll handle this. Is that all?
Oh, wow.
Come on, let's pick up the creature's trail. These claw marks. I've seen their like before.
Now, don't tell me that it's the creature.
It's starting to feel like a proper hunt.
Why do I feel like this creature is the creature from the Viper story? Which I don't even remember if I actually recorded.
Feathers. But did they belong to the predator or the prey?
So, how do you prefer our prey? Roasted or raw?
You presume it's even safe to eat? Still fresh. Whatever this beast, it cannot be far.
We start their hunt.
Who knows? If they're spoiling for a fight, then they've got one.
Let's head back and report what we found.
Powerful wings and razor-sharp talons. worthy prey. Ah! What is that thing?
Nope.
It speaks?
Definitely not the creature from, definitely not the creature from the Viper story.
It's heading towards the falls.
I'll stay with the researchers. The creature, I leave to you.
Come, Woklamat.
Right.
It's like a giant parrot. Oh, this is the big battle.
Just so
I'm
we're
gonna
clear,
lose.
I wasn't startled by the beast earlier. It caught me by surprise, that's all.
Forgive me, but I failed to see a difference.
I'm getting hungry. Let's be done with this so we can eat.
I wonder, is she the youngest? I wonder if she's the youngest of the siblings.
Think you're clever,
Trying
huh?
to prove her worth.
I'll rip off that beak and roast you on a spit! Talk all you like, Bird. I'm going to have the last laugh. Oh, I'm going to enjoy sinking my teeth into you. Ah, shut up already, you blasted bird! you. That was hardly a tickle. Try this. Nothing to it. We have you now, you loud-mouthed bastard!
For everything you have up there.
And I had barely limbered up.
She's got an interesting ego.
It was a terrible foe, but no match for your axe.
Only to be expected. You were pretty impressive yourselves. I was right to invite you on a hunt. But what a curious bird that was. Though we have similar in Tural, they don't grow so big or use such dirty tricks.
Dirty tricks, dirty tricks.
How does she not hear the wings?
Aye, dirty and despicable. Otherwise, I could have easily...
Leave this to me.
Ah, this is where we get picked up.
Cryle.
I am terribly, terribly sorry to have kept you all waiting.
She arrived as I was seeing the researchers to safety. It was all I could do to keep up with her after I explained what happened.
So this is what you meant by seeing to preparations?
After hearing of the contest, I thought how wonderful it would be to join you. In coming here, I wanted to demonstrate my skill at arms to Wuklamut. Alas, it seems I missed most of the action.
was amazing! The piece didn't stand a chance!
I'm glad to have been of service.
May I ask what inspired this change?
You will recall the time you descended to the ethereal sea in search of Hydaelyn. Recognizing that my skills were inadequate, I chose to provide support from afar rather than join you. It was the same when you set forth for Ultima Thule. How it pained me to stay behind again and again. That's what inspired this change. Ever since the final days were averted, I've used every spare moment to hone my craft. As you all have adapted your methods to suit the circumstances, I started by considering how I might best contribute. And after much deliberation, I arrived at my answer.
Pictomancy.
With the esoteric art passed down by the legendary Archon realm, Pictomancy. As I recall, you have embraced versatility to effectively complement a certain someone's style. What I do is much the same. Like you, I don't want to be left behind.
Indeed. I must say, you appear to be especially keen on being involved in the ritual of succession. Is there any particular reason?
Yes, there is. This letter from Tuliolal. It was addressed to my grandfather Galuf, and turned up among the students' archives. The ink was faded, so I couldn't fully make out the sender's name. Galul, someone.
Jaja. Gulul Jaja. That's my father, the Dawn servant. What does the letter say?
While much of it isn't legible, it appears to be a request to investigate the Golden City.
A request to investigate the Golden City? From the Dawn Servant himself?
Well, well. Seems it may be more than a rumor after all.
Being a member of the royal family, it was my hope that you could confirm the authenticity of this letter.
I can say for a fact that my father didn't write this. Given how culturally diverse Tuliolal is, it was decided some time ago that a common language was needed. But instead of elevating an existing tongue and its speakers above all others, we looked to those widely spoken overseas and created an altogether new one. The similarities to your common tongue also make it quite easy to communicate in these situations, no? This letter, however, is entirely in Eorzean. If Father had written this, he would have been in Turali. And what's more, it bears a wax seal. We don't bother with them.
So the letter is fraudulent, then?
Or someone else sent it.
Oh, I didn't mean to say that. My father's signature is genuine, as far as I can tell, so perhaps he simply dictated it.
I see. Thank you for the confirmation. It seems my grandfather indeed had dealings with Tuli Yolal. I can't help but be curious as to what exactly he was doing there. In order to help us decide on a course of action, would you mind if I asked you some questions about your home?
By all means. After all, learning about one another was the purpose of this hunt. We can talk while feasting on this fellow. I, for one, am starving.
We're eating that.
Well, it depends on how it's cooked. With the wildlife pacified and the researcher safe, our task is complete. That just leaves the matter of colibri meat. For better or for worse, there is really no place we can take it to here in Charlian. Oh, there's only one place we can take it to in Charlian, the Last Stand. Come, let us see what Dickon can cook up for us. I do kind of wish the Last Stand was a little closer. But it's right here. Well now, there is a famished face if I've ever seen one. What can I do for you, Sapphire? Try cooking up this bird? Bird meat from the hunt, you say? Leave it to me. I have just the recipe. It's a new dish I recently learned from some sailors, and for you lot, it's on the house. Have just as much as you like here. Alright, Graha.
Come, come. Let's enjoy the bounty of our first outing together. I'd heard that Charlian cuisine was terrible, but this is fantastic.
What is this? Oh, it smells spicy.
Oh, come now. Since when did you become so soft? It's not like we don't have spicy food in Tural, too.
Oh no. Is it the spices I got from...
According to Dickon, intensely hot dishes have become popular in Razadhan after a traveller ordered a curry with several times the usual amount of spice.
Oh, I figured.
So he started offering the same in order to please the growing Harnish population here in Charlian.
It's nothing I can't handle.
Oh, girl, your eyes are watering. Hard.
Your boorish manners reflect poorly on the both of us. I wish you would consider your station.
Okay, he's gotta be of royal blood.
I swear, sometimes it feels like you open your mouth only to criticize.
They have to be siblings.
Would I be correct in assuming you've known each other for a long time?
Aye, thick as thieves since we were little.
I beg to differ. She is a long-standing acquaintance. Nothing more.
I see. I see.
All this time you were from Tural. Oh, would that I had known sooner. There's so much I'd like to ask.
You and everyone else. I've kept it quiet so as to avoid the endless interrogations.
Wait a minute. He's the brother.
Well, if he's going to be a miser, I'll be happy to tell you about our homeland instead.
He's gotta be the brother that she was talking about.
Since ancient times, many peoples have called Tural home, and they've been fighting each other for nearly as long. The fighting finally stopped some 80 years ago, when the reigning Dawn Servant unified the disparate communities and founded a new nation.
And that's how Tuliolal came to be.
Since then, we've enjoyed an era of uninterrupted peace. But my father is getting old, and he wishes to relinquish the throne to a worthy successor. One who can preserve his legacy. Including myself, there are 4 claimants to the throne. But while we all have the right to participate, one among us cannot be allowed to rule.
A man who is too ambitious by half. Word of the Garlean Empire's collapse has reached Tural. While most are simply relieved, he sees weakness to exploit and would lead our armies across the seas on a campaign of conquest.
After everything my father has done to give us peace, he would drag us back into war. I can't allow it. No matter what, I must win this contest.
To prevent a civil war. Not so much a civil war, but I think it's going to break down the
I understand your reasons. But this being an event that will dictate the course of your nation's future, is it appropriate for outsiders like us to be involved?
Oh, it's more than appropriate. The Dawn Servant himself expressly encourages it. The ruler of Tural must navigate the intricacies of myriad cultures, and there's no better way to prove oneself qualified to do so than to work with foreign allies. That's why I sought you out. Through our hunt, I've confirmed that you're a warrior of considerable skill, but more importantly, one of good character as well. And so I ask you, will you lend me your strength and help me win the throne of Tulihualal? You don't need to decide right this moment. But I will need you if I'm to triumph over the competition. I'll stay here as long as I can while waiting for your answer.
In that case, allow us to prepare a room for you at the Baldessian Annex.
That's very kind of you. Oh, and one more thing. Once we finish eating, would you mind if I took the rest of the meat?
Yeah, I honestly think that Aaronville is the brother. The scholar that came here. Oh, but she said he was Makote. Huh. Okay, I don't know. Whether Muklamot has the makings of a ruler, I couldn't say, but I do know she deeply cares for her nation and her people. Whether you choose to help her, though, is for you and you alone to decide. Think on it well. Now then, it's past time I report our mission success to the guild ship. I would have done so sooner, except Her Highness needed to have her royal meal. I shall come by the annex later. Till then. Baba Ganoush. Oh, I don't know how. Caviar sandwich? I don't know about that one. Caviar capanis? Broccoli flower stew. Alright. The final mission. With this mission, we end Shadowbringers and start Dawntrail. Well, I dare say we now have a far grasp on Wuklamot's situation. Still, you've been afforded time to consider her invitation. Why not use it to learn more about Tudal? Numenon is bound to have some information on the continent. Quite right. Not only would it help you make an informed decision, but if you choose to go, you'll be better prepared for what awaits. Come, my friend, let us be off to the archives. Oh, you guys are gonna make me travel there, aren't you? Ugh, how dare you. Easier to teleport to the studio and go from there. Yeah, I definitely want to fix the setup I have on my alt character on a different server, data center actually. And set it so that I hide the weapons when they're sheathed, and I don't. I'm gonna have to look that up again. Blue magic can be traced back to esoteric practices. Oh, it's part of Blue Mage. Whose nature the highest in seeking cultivate spiritual connection. They learn the harness power of wildlife around them. In exchange for teaching them the common tongue, I was permitted to live among them and train in their ways. These days, some of the most grueling I remember, but they were the most tremendously rewarding. For instance, I had the privilege of visiting Lapis Canyon, the tribe's sacred grounds. It is so named by the cerulean deposit that wells up onto the surface, turning the entire canyon brilliant blue. Under the shaman's watchful eye, I finally managed to master the Walaki's art and make the animal's powers my own. As no name existed in it for the common tongue, I took the name Blue Magic, which is where Blue Mage is okay. The reason I chose this color, as you will have doubtless gleaned, is for the significance it holds for the Wallaki. I cannot think of a name more fitting to honor the people from whom this noble magic was born. Oh, that's interesting. So if you play Blue Mage, which I need to really get back into Blue Mage, I think I'm level Blue Mage, am I? I'm level 34 Blue Mage. Okay. I need to get back into that. Compare the three great continents and Tural. The former stretches east to west and lies entirely in the northern hemisphere. Okay, so it's kind of Europe, Europe and Asia put together. In contrast, the latter extends to the far reaches of both North and Southern hemispheres, and a difference immediately presents itself in a form of climate variance. Okay, so if you put it in the natural world aspect, we're going to the Americas, because she has, Wuklamat has like a very like Mesoamerican South, depending on where you're from, South American, depending on where you look at it, South American feel. Climate shifts tend to be gentler when moving east and west, but harsher when moving north to south. Owing to this fact, longitudinal migration is far more common in history, whether by men, animals, yeah, this is very much the Americas. A case in point is the Allegans, who rose to power in Aldernon before advancing east to Ilsabard. Their movement would be mirrored thousands of years later by the Gradanians. Meanwhile, although the desperate tribes of Tulal waged war with one another for generations, stymied by the climate, none could make any great headway north or south. Tribes hailed from frozen lands, weathered beneath the desert sun, while those who thrived in open plains could not pierce the dense jungle. Such was the way of it until the leader Mamulja succeeded in bringing the continent under one banner. Given the land's divided history and the reason thereof, one cannot help but be in awe of this feat. Truly, it is a testament to the autarch's greatness. So Blue Mage, the Americas, every land is given rise to unique wildlife, and the continent of Tulal is no exception. Yet while some of her creatures have become of familiar sight in Eorzea, many and more exist that are rarely seen this side of the Indigo Deep. This tome includes a variety of species described in testimonies by sailors and adventurers. Alpaca. Okay, so that's... alpaca is closer in the Andes, so that'd be like this very low South America. However, a ferocious scale skin native to the dense jungles, the Mamulja succeeded in taming them and utilizing their prodigious strength for manual labor. Huh. I almost thought snake, but a scaly creature with massive strength. Okay, sure. Given their immense size and power, it should come as no surprise that the Weaver is also employed as a siege beast. Oh, I would say almost like an elephant. Enemy fortifications cannot long stand its horned brutes rampage. Vala Garmanda. This bird-like creature. Nice beast. Myth, however, since whether it says is that what we hunted? Vala Garmanda. I feel like that was the viper. That's either the viper from the Viper story, or it's just another, or I don't know. It is impossible to adequately discuss Eorzea cuisine without speaking of the land from which many of our modern day staples hail from, far western continent of Tudal. Ogre pumpkins, ruby tomatoes, even ubiquitous polto. These crops more than regularly grace areas of different places trace origins in the world as the place is known to most. The tale of this culinary migration begins in the 1498 of the Sixth Astral era, when the Lominsan sailor successfully traveled the Indigo Deep during the continent. They spent several moons exploring inland in the course which he encountered the sprawling nation of Mamulja. He was even granted an audience with their supreme leader, one whose confidence he won, along with permission to roam freely. They would return to Tulal several times, but during his first expedition he charted the land and gathered myriad root vegetables and seeds to bring back to Limbs and Laments. The most notable of these was the polpoto, whose ease of cultivation and nutritional value saw it quickly spread to all corners of Eorzea. Produce was far from the only bounty the expedition to Tonal. Many tantalizing recipes, meat-filled burritos, and legendary... Okay, now they're like describing Mexico. Okay. Legends such as Golden City. Yeah, so we're pretty much doing Central and South America in all this. Sounds like this circle to all large remains shrouded in mystery, yet its influence cuisine and many scholars, including myself, relish the chance of immersing themselves in coloring. Oh boy, I feel like Graha. Okay, so now the trailer makes more sense with Graha eating a taco. Scoured the library to your satisfaction, have you? Excellent. While there are a few books wholly dedicated to the subject of Tudal, I dare say I've found tidbits of useful information scattered here and there. But come, let us continue this outside. The mammoths do not take kindly to chatter. Now then, I'm quite keen to hear your honest impressions. I couldn't help but notice that we read the very same book on cuisine. I was pleasantly surprised to find references to all in it. Among them, did anything in particular pique your interest? Ah yes, the renowned Laminson explorer who traversed the Indigo Deep and discovered the unknown West. So yeah, we're going to America. Cool. And his accomplishments didn't end there. He's traveled to all extensively and even forged a friendship with the Dawn Servant. If we're able to meet Ketanram, what things we could learn. Alas, all of this happened nigh fourscore years ago. And he may only be alive to tell his and he may no longer be alive to tell his tales. But moving on, did you perchance learn aught about the fauna of Tunal? Given your adventuring background, I expect the topic would interest you. Alpacas. Ah yes, the alpaca. In addition to serving as beasts of burden, they provide clothing for people by their lush fleece. They are especially prized by mountain tribes who hold certain rare specimens sacred. Interesting. I thought I heard a familiar voice. Funny running into the two of you here. Well, have some research of your own to do. Aye, we hope to arm ourselves with knowledge that may benefit the Garlean people. Having forged a new trade agreement with Razadhan, they will next look to foster relations with other nations. This includes former imperial provinces. In this view, we hope to find hints of history on how neighbors of different races and ideologies might engage with one another. Okay, this is the hook to get these two in. And what of you two? What endeavors brings you here this day? Okay, this is the hook that gets Alice and Alphino in. So how do we get Y'shtola, Urianger, and Estinian in? Estinian just for the hunt. A nation composed of disparate peoples of Tudal. I dare say this is precisely what kind of an example we seek. We do well to read up on Tuliyoral ourselves. The contest. Is Sapphire the only one allowed to help Wuklamot? There is no mention of such restrictions as I recall. On the contrary, Wuklamot gave us the impression that she could have several champions. Oh no. I think I know how to make the most of our respite. Follow me, Alphino. We have planning to do. Oh boy. Alize, wait. It would seem our plans have changed, if you'll excuse me. They never could rest on their laurels. Come, let us return to the annex. I love how these two outfits, came together. I could have gone with the Graha pants and something else, but I wanted something, flowy and... yeah. Looks nice. Alright, he's down here. Granted, I probably could have just teleported. Yeah, I think this video is probably going to be close to about 2 hours. If not 2 hours, because I notice usually when I do these, I get to the end of an expansion, and the last video is 2 hours long.
Oh, it's just... Despite all that we've learned, I can't help but feel we've yet to hear the whole story. What about you, my friend? Are you inclined to accept or refuse Wuklamot's request? Ha! I thought you might say that. With an intrepid attitude such as yours, I believe all shall be well. Be it the contest or something else, there will be many trials for you to overcome at your destination. But in the course of seeing new lands and meeting new people, you'll surely find a way forward. That's what adventurers do, is it not? Such a journey would be the envy of many a scholar. Distant as it is, Tural remains largely unknown to us, with only meager records to be found in Numenon. The experiences to be had, all the things you might hear, feel, and think. It's enough to stir me to the core. Life is a series of journeys, my friend, and there's no telling what awaits us on the long road. But what's important is to be true to yourself as you walk it. Only then can we hope to be content when we arrive at the end of one and step forward into another. Ah, but there's an idea. I have a matter to attend to at the Agora. Please, go on inside. I will join you shortly.
Of course, Thancred is just sitting there listening to us. Welcome back, Sapphire. If you're looking for Luke Lamont, she's currently with the others in her chambers. If you like, I can go fetch them for you. Understood, please wait in the main hall.
You have the look of someone who's made up their mind. Go on then. Let's hear it. Then you need me as much as I need you. Together we'll blaze new trails in Tural.
You're not planning to leave without us, are you? Alphano, Alize! What are you two doing here?
We happened to cross paths at Numenon earlier, you see, and I told them about Wuklamat. And when we fortuitously met again at the Agora just now, they expressed an interest in meeting our visitor.
Ah, you must be the twins who are sneaking after Erenville as toads.
100 things about us you could have told her, and you chose that!
First impressions last.
"'Tis an honor and a pleasure to make your acquaintance, Your Highness. Alphano Leveilleur at your service, and this is my sister Alize."
Oh no, let's not do that. I really can't stand titles. So, you want to participate in the contest too, is that right?
Indeed we do. We've been assisting with the rebuilding effort in Garlemald. Yet while progress is being made, the question remains of how the nation might reconcile with its neighbors. We believe there is much we might learn from Tuliolal, a nation founded on unity. And in return for this honor, we would spare no effort in supporting your claim.
The more the merrier, I say. And I'd be keen to learn about Eorzea and Garlemald from you as well.
Having recruited so many committed and capable allies, I presume you have no need for my continued assistance?
Nonsense! Like I told you before, you're indispensable. They're strong, aye, but strangers to our land. They need someone to guide them, to point out the dangers, and spare them grisly deaths. I can't think of anyone better suited to that task than you. What's more, despite your assertions, I know you haven't given up on the City of Gold.
As I recall, Kryl, you were the first to state your desire to visit Tural.
Perhaps I was. Still, I can't help but worry about being away just when our order is beginning to find its feet again.
You have nothing to worry about. I haven't forgotten how you held the fort while I set off to explore Alzadal's legacy. It's only fair that I return the favor. Pray, leave the students to Ojika and me.
But, Raha...
Wait, so he's staying?
You want to retrace your grandfather's steps, don't you? This is a rare opportunity, and I insist that you seize it.
I was really hoping he'd join us. Unless Ojika decides no, Graha go.
Thank you, Raha. Thank you.
Well, looks like it's settled. I'm counting on you all to help me win the throne.
I suppose now is a good time to show you what I spent a small fortune on at the Agora.
Is it the map?
There.
It adds $2 to it as well.
This, my friends, is the latest map of the world, created to celebrate our friendship with the Loporrits. Cast your eyes west of Sharlayan, for there it lies. The site of your next great adventure, Tural.
Yep, we're going to America. I feel like there should be credits right here. Okay, yeah, that answers that question. Oh, like, hold on, I feel like we're missing some credits. Lest you wonder about your patches to all, Aaronville will arrange a ship through his guild, and you need only worry about your own preparations. Speaking of which, please take this with you, a rugged and hardy knapsack. May it serve you well in your upcoming adventures. Now, I'm not sure when departure will be, but rest assured I will let you know when I hear something. Till then, please take your ease. And we are done. I've officially finished. I officially finished Endwalker.
When does the next ship set sail?
May I ask your destination?
The north and east, I've already seen. I suppose I'll head west this time.
West, you say?
Okay, so this is how everyone winds up in Tudal, or Tuli Yolal.
I see you've made up your mind. I had a feeling you'd be keen.
But to think that our comrades too are thither bound. Fate doth work in mysterious ways.
Indeed. It will be a grueling task, having to contend with them.
Wait a minute. No.
If the prospect doth trouble thee, 'tis not too late to decline the petition.
So someone else came to them.
Though thine expression would suggest thou art far from perturbed.
Oh, interesting. So who did they sign up
how
with?
could I possibly be, knowing what's to come?
Then let us delay no further and secure passage on a vessel.
Aye. This will be a mission to remember. Come, my friend. We make for Tural.
Alright, now how do we get Y'shtola in on this? I get how we got Estinian, but how do we get Y'shtola as well?
Tell me, have you been to the ruins beneath the waters of the Bounty? Or the treasure islands beyond the frozen waters of Blind Frost in Offerd's north? The fabled golden cities of the New World?
That's right, he did say something about it. Weigh anchor now, the tide is high, and dawn of a new adventure is nigh. Row forth and break horizon's bond and tread new golden... I hate how fast that one goes. Alright. Okay, and with that, we have ended Endwalker. So, starting next week, we go into Dawntrail. I'll probably actually start streaming Dawntrail, but by the time this comes out, I might be in a few episodes in. Because I actually should start. I'll probably start streaming more. Till then, as usual, be good to yourself, be good to others, and keep each other safe. Laters.